Hello everyone, welcome to Game Dames Vidcast. I'm your host Cindy and today I'm playing some Bastion. It is published by Warner Brothers and it is made by a small company called Super Giant Games, which I'm totally getting a kick out of that name because it is a pretty small company, but they're super giant, so that's really cute. So this game I believe is the first one ever and it is very solid and is also a barrel full of fun. It kind of took me by surprise. I knew that it was going to be pretty good from the reviews that I've heard from the podcasts I was listening to this summer. This game first came out on Xbox Live for the Summer of Arcade promotion. And because I don't have an Xbox, I couldn't actually play it. So I was kind of bummed out that I couldn't try it for myself. And then it came out for Steam, so I was really excited when it did. I didn't get it right away. I waited a few weeks, I think, and then finally I was like, I've got to play this game. And I have not regretted it. The premise of the game is that this is the setting is post-apocalyptic. So you live in this city that was torn apart by an event called the Calamity, and it basically took the world that you live in and broke it into different pieces, and now there's pieces floating in the air, so to speak. And right now I'm in the Bastion. The Bastion is a piece of rock that you need to sort of bring back to life, and it's powered by crystal cores or crystal fragments that of course you need to go through the world to find the fragments, bring them back to this altar thing here, monument, and when you put it inserted in here, you will have the option of building buildings. Yes. And so you've got potions here. The potions help you with your stats, and you've got the forge for your weapons, and I won't go through all the buildings, but they all have significance to character progression and to making your hero into a better hero. And you play the kid, which is this guy right here, and you don't really know too much about him from the beginning, but you can discover items that will make you go through his past and his memories, like this pipe here. This also serves as a challenge mode. The story itself doesn't actually last very long. I think it's about only 5 to 6 hours. I've already played 5 hours. This is where we're at right now, and so I think I'm pretty close to the end. Which was interesting when I was going through the game was when I was about halfway through, so 3 hours in maybe, I thought I was at the end already, but it turns out that that was only halfway. So that was cool because I had already finished the Bastion, but that's not the end of the game, because the second part of the game you get to make your buildings even better than they were before. Now the cool thing about this game is not only is it an RPG with a story, as well as this really cute platform type of game with challenge modes and all that. It's got interactive narration. Oh, but that's not how it's said, but you get the idea. So whenever your character does something, the narrator will have something to say about it. So not only does the narrator explain what's going on through the story, it reacts to what the character does. So that's really, really interesting and different. The narrator is actually this guy here, Rux.
We ain't much for pleasantries.
And see, his voice actor, the narrator, reminds me a lot of Ron Perlman, if you remember from the Fallout 3 introductions. And it kind of gives it that gritty tone. And it's just really neat. As you can tell by the graphics. The graphics are, really colorful, beautifully painted, two-dimensional stuff. And, the characters are kind of a bit anime or manga-esque, So it's really cutesy, but at the same time, the excellent music in this and the sound effects as well as the narrator kind of give it that more melancholic regretful type and mournful type of impression and tone, which is, you think wouldn't go together, but it actually meshes really well and gives it a very whimsical and like I said, gritty and different type of feeling to it, and I'm really, really digging it. Okay, so let's show you a little bit of gameplay. Actually, before that, let's show you the weapons. What's the cool thing about this is you get a shield and you get 2 sets of weapon. I'll show you here. If you go to the forge, no, not the forge. I want to go to the arsenal. So here, it starts off with the melee. Your very first weapon is the hammer, but you can pick whatever else you come across, and each level pretty much has a different weapon, or almost. And here usually is your range, but you don't have to do that. You can go melee, and range if you want. I mean, if that's your thing. I kind of like to have a balance of melee and then range. And in this here are your special abilities. So the kind of these powerful attacks that you get, or powerful things that you can do. For example, this is actually a sneak ability, so you can just sneak around monsters instead of fighting them. You got the hand grenade, which is my favorite, trip mine, and then you also have even a pet pet ability, where you sick this pet on monsters you're fighting. And there's other ones that I don't have, so I'm only missing 4. So that's how you go about that.
To bring a bellows to a shootout, but it just might work.
So yeah, whenever you choose your weapons or whatever you do, the narrator usually has something to say. At the forge, this is where you can customize those weapons. You will find certain items when you're exploring, and you bring them here, and whenever you pick one, you'll actually have, per level, you have 2 options, 2 different ways to go. So for the brusher's pike, I decided to go with the reinforced shaft, which gives me plus 15 critical hit chance, as opposed to plus 50% faster throw reload. So it really depends on what your playstyle is and how successful you've been at killing the monsters. Some of us will probably like to stand back and shoot from far, while some of us will want to be just in their faces and stuff. So it depends, how you play, what you'll decide. It's very flexible that way, and I really love the weapon customization. Now here at the distillery, this is where you get to pick potion per level. These potions actually just increase your stats and what you're able to withstand and do. So the life wine is one of my favorites because you can survive an attack that would have brought defeat otherwise. And since I'm not actually all that good at this game, or most of these types of games, this is really, really helpful. Especially some of the monsters you come across can be pretty challenging. And I was stuck inside the pipe dream for a while, going through the character's sort of background story, and I didn't realize that this was actually a challenge mode, so I ended up dying quite a bit. So the life wine camp came in pretty handy, and I got a lot further than I would have expected. Now, as you go through the levels, you will come across other NPCs, survivors of the calamity, that you'll bring back to your bastion, like Zia here. Zia is a singer.
Manners ain't so bad.
She's a singer, and she sings this beautiful song that you come across. And you have Peckers and the Ankle Gator, which is an interesting name. And you call him, and he actually, or she actually, follows you around. And so you also find wildlife and bring it back to the Bastion, which is kind of interesting. It has a very Noah's Ark type of feel to this. So, and the whole point of having the Bastion is trying to, bring civilization back to the wilds. Another thing I want to say about the game, the theme, overall theme, before I show you the gameplay, is that it feels a lot like the Wild West, so to speak. And the narrator also has that lilt to his voice that kind of brings back, old westerns and stuff. So that's really interesting as well. Okay, so let's go through a level. I think the level I'm at is actually quite challenging, so I might have to stop recording for a bit and kill some monsters because I don't think I can talk and concentrate at the same time. So shard detected. So at Mount Zand. And so when you get off the Bastion, you'll get thrown into the air, so to speak, and then your character you'll look at the map and see where the shards are. The kind of thing that kind of I don't really like is see these blocked out areas with the stars. Those are all the areas I've been through already, and you can't go back. You can only go back if you start a new game, basically. So that kind of sucks. I would like to revisit these places just for the heck of it, even though the shards are no longer there, you know. But however, whenever you beat one of these places, these zones, you do have proving grounds open up, which are challenge modes, and there's a weapon for each proving ground, and that's the weapon that you'll be practicing through it. So kind of become master. This one is a musketeer, or master bellows here, stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. I haven't tried them yet, but I'm sure they're up there with the challenge. Okay, so let's go to Mount Zan.
The beasts of the wild came down from the mountains.
I love how whenever you land, you kind of fall on your face.
Now.
This is a nice level because it's really neat because it's in the forest, so you kind of lose sight of your character when he's in the leaves. Okay, so the next monsters coming up is really challenging, and yeah, here we go. So you have to like jump out of the way, or it takes a whole chunk, there you go, of your life. And I'm totally gonna die. Alright.
So they figure they'll hold out right here on a slab of mountain the calamity.
So you heal by holding F.
There's no place left for the beasts of the wild to go.
And as you can see that as I'm moving around the level, the rest of the path just kind of falls into place and leads me to where I need to go to find the shard. Unfortunately, there is more of these beasties around that are really tough to kill. Oh, and I fell down. So when you go too far to the edge, you can fall down, and then it takes a chunk of your health away, of course. Unless you're in the Bastion. So if you fall down from the Bastion, nothing happens. You don't lose any health. Oh, I'm out of potions. Ah! Oh, there's a potion right here. Awesome. Okay, so usually the strategy to beat these guys here is to let it... Oh, shoot. Just to let it come and just blast him. Okay, but I'm not doing it right now because I'm talking to you guys.
Go all out.
So I died, but you do get 3 chances at each level. So even if you die twice, you still get a last chance. So that's kind of cool. So you have 3 lives per level, basically. Oh, shoot! Okay, I'm doing horrible right now. I'm gonna say it's because I'm recording. Yeah. Actually, I'm not usually this horrible. But so you basically get the idea. As you go further, everything kind of falls back here. Yeah, they've been building their own bastion. What? So basically, from the story that's going on right now, what I get is that it's not just the humans who are trying to, restore things. The beasts are trying to do the same thing their own way as well. But the way they're doing it isn't, helpful to you. Oh, I thought there was a potion there. Hello, hello. All right, so I'll show you the very beginning just a little bit, and then we'll call this good. Confirm. Let's do story, let's do new game. Continue. And I just want to show you the beginning because it's going to illustrate how everything falls into place as you go along the path.
Now here's a kid whose whole world got all twisted, leaving him stranded on a rock in the sky. He gets up, sets off for the Bastion, where everyone agreed to go in case of trouble.
The Bastion was already around, but that's pretty much all that's left, except for fragments of the world. So, you see how everything kind of falls into place?
Just lying in the road.
So there's your hammer.
It's a touching reunion.
And you can just, you know, kill, not kill, but destroy everything around you.
He sees what's left of the Ripper. Years of work undone in an instant.
And sometimes you'll find tear-shaped stones. Those are you'll need to collect those because you can make or recreate different items that will the items that you need to better your weapons basically at the forge. And also some of these items are special abilities.
It's a gas fella forced out from underground. Kid pops him good. Fella got a piece of him though.
Yeah, so he said the fella got a piece of him means that my health bar came down. So you see the narration whenever something bad happens to you or you do something is really cool. I've heard people say that, you know, it's a little annoying, and it does after a while. Kid just rages after a while. It does get a little annoying when you have a whole bunch of monsters just coming after you and you're trying to concentrate to just, you know, survive, and the narrator keeps going off. So in that sense it does get a little annoying or irritating. However, I think just how neat it is kind of counters all of that.
An old repeater falls out of the sky. Ain't a gift from the gods, but it'll have to do. Gotta hold her still and spin up the chamber.
And that's pretty much Bastion. It is very interesting game. I was really surprised how fun and addictive it is. I mean, I could just sit here for hours and play, or I can just, you know, kill half an hour. And you know, I sometimes get really busy during the day and I want a game, but I don't really have time, so I can just log in for a few minutes, you know, half an hour, whatever, you know, do a level and then log back out. And actually I was doing a lot of that Friday. I logged in and out of Bastion a lot, so that's really neat. It's an awesome little side game, and I definitely recommend it to everybody. Just because, I don't know, I can't find a downside to this. Maybe there is one. I guess the narrator is about the only downside that I've found so far. But other than that, the story is really interesting, and it keeps you in suspense and guessing. It doesn't give you everything that's happened right away. It's pretty mysterious. And then once you get closer to the end, you start to get a, you know, a better idea. Also, I believe when you get to the end, you do have a choice of what to do. So that's really neat. It's very, it's a very cool little RPG, but at the same time, you know, a little platform. So yeah, get it. Hey, so that's pretty much all for Bastion. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to follow us on Twitter, at Game Dames, sorry, I'm getting tired. And you can also follow me on Twitter at Cendres, CENDRES. Also come see us at GameDames.com. And also you should know that we are participating this year for the Extra Life Marathon, helping kids get better for the Children's Miracle Network. I'm sorry. Our team is the Gamers for Good, so check us out. Dana, Leela, and myself are participating. I believe I might have missed somebody else in our team. I gotta check the roster, but I'll get you guys next time. And yeah, check us out, donate, and feel awesome because you helped somebody, hopefully. And yeah, so we'll see you guys next time. Have fun. Go play some Bastion.